I told myself, you keep saying you want to grow on YouTube, but you don't post on YouTube. You keep saying you want to grow on TikTok, but you don't post on TikTok. And you keep saying you want to grow, but you don't. 1 year ago, I made a decision that would change my life forever. I went from being unemployed to having 2 high-paying job offers. I moved to a new city. I grew my social media following, purchased my dream car, got my first big girl apartment, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I got one step closer to achieving my childhood dream. And if you want to find out how, keep watching.
Ask me what I'm thinking about, it's money on my mind. Her in my DMs, but she's screaming that he's mine.
Hey, what's up? Hello, it's your girl Big Bami, not the little one, and I'm back with another video. Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're not. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you know where to find me. But let's get into the video. I know every YouTube video tells you the same thing about changing your life, but I'm here to keep it real. It's not just routine. It's not just waking up at 5 a.m. or going to the gym or eating healthy. Like, all those work, but they're mainly tactics that come with time. I'm gonna be honest, it took me 6 months of consistency, but 2 years of planning. So if you came across this video, take it as a sign to start prepping for the life that you want, because in 6 months, you'll be that much closer. Before I tell you how I did it, let me set the scene. Y'all remember this video?
Is life after college.
Well, this was the catalyst to how I got here. I was 1 year post-grad, fresh off a failed LSAT score, when I got the reality check I didn't know I needed. My life wasn't going to just magically get better on its own, and whatever I'm doing right now is clearly not working, so I got real, I got raw, and I got personal, and then I gave myself 6 months. There's so many things I wanted to change in my life, but I knew I couldn't do it all at once, so I had to get real about my priorities and my goals and give them the push of a lifetime. 6 months later, my life changed drastically. New city, new job offers, new car, and most importantly, I started law school. Now, I can give you guys a play-by-play on my law school journey if you want to know more about that. Be sure to drop a gavel down in the comments. But now that I set the scene, let me tell you how I did it. So it all started in December 2023, and this was right after my best friend's birthday. I was on my way back to New York, and I think I had just received my LSAT results. And during this time, I was going through like a real deep depression, and I was fighting for my life to pull myself out of it. So on our way back to New York, I was talking to my best friend, and she asked me, what's my plan? And honestly, at the time, I didn't really have one, but I just knew I had to go all in. It had to be all or nothing. I just didn't think that I gave myself enough space and time to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. I put a very unrealistic timeline on myself because I wasn't being realistic about what was required of me to achieve the goals I had set for myself. So I decided that I was going to be committed to the cause, and the cause was changing my life. I had to get real. I told myself, you keep saying you want to grow on YouTube, but you don't post on YouTube. You keep saying you want to grow on TikTok. R.I.P. She was a real one. But you don't post on TikTok, and you keep saying you want to grow, but you don't. I gave myself a 30-day challenge starting January 1st of 2024, where I would just be consistent with posting and consistent with studying. And if you guys watch a lot of my vlogs from back then, you would see that I was in the library most days, and I always said I was studying, but I never told you guys what I was studying for, but it was for the LSAT. And after I was able to do the first 30 days, everything really came a lot more easily for me. They say it takes about 21 days approximately to form a habit. And I think for me, reaching the 30-day goal of just being consistent with posting and studying, I felt a shift, and I think the shift was really just me showing up for myself and showing up for things that I said I wanted to do. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it was easy. I think February was probably the most challenging month for me because I was missing out on trips with my friends. I was missing out on so many things. And I remember I told myself that I know I'm missing out right now, but it's so that when I come back, I can be in a better position. So the only time I got to see my friends in the month of February was probably during a birthday party. So it was just hard. Not only was I doing all of this on the hush hush, like only my sister and my brother and my friends knew. My parents didn't know, and I'm living in the house with them. So it was a bit complicated on how I had to navigate it, but it was really hard figuring it out in February. But by the time March rolled around, I was in turmoil. I'm gonna be real. March was probably the worst. You know, after being consistent for 30 days, you think you're gonna be good. You hit 60 days, you think you're gonna be great. You have 90 days under your belt, and you really have to start to question
why you made the decision you made, because it's hard.
Like, it's hard. At this point, I was about 90 days into this, and I keep telling myself, I have to choose my heart. I have to choose my heart. And the heart I was choosing was to continue being consistent, because Lord knows I wasn't seeing any improvements in my scores. I was getting drained from keeping this secret and trying not to let other people know what was going on. And just really trying to focus and just being depressed because I'm not doing the things I normally enjoy. So it was really, really hard on me. The only up I think about that month is that I was able to drop a song, which really increased my spirits because I was like, okay, I'm still giving time to the other things that I love. So now I'm 90 days in, really looking at the lay of the land and not understanding, struggling to make it through. But I think I was mentally shot at this point. Like, I went from 0 to 100, so it was really taxing on me mentally. Physically, I wasn't eating right at all. I wasn't working out, so I didn't like the way I looked. I think I planned to take my test in April, I want to say, or March maybe. I can't remember when I took it, but I know after I took it, one of my friends had a birthday in DC, and I said, you know what? I have to go. And I went, and I think that's when everything just hit me like a ton of bricks, y'all. I really just feel like I shot my system, and I don't really know how to react right now. But physically, I just hated what I saw. So then I became depressed again because I was like, oh my gosh, like I just taxed myself mentally and I look like what I've been going through. Like, I hated it so much. So literally I said, okay, we did all we can for studying. Honestly, you're just gonna have to leave that up to God, which was its own story in and of itself. But I decided I'm going to start my fitness journey, which luckily put me on the up and ups because this is right around or right before my birthday and around the time test scores had come out. So I was depressed all over again. And then I wasn't doing what I planned for my birthday because I had to pay for so many applications. Just drained financially. Mind you, during this time, I had no source of income and I'm actively applying to jobs every single day. I don't know how I did this because, guys, when I tell you, I was literally pulling myself up from the bootstraps because not only am I broke doing this with no source of income, I'm literally scraping money together from side gigs, side jobs. I look like what I've been going through. I put on so much weight. I was stressed. I had to hold a secret that I'm applying to law school while I'm living with my parents. And if you know anything about living with Nigerian or honestly African parents in general, You already know the conversations I was getting post-grad. They were very much giving, get your life together, what are you doing? You're wasting your degree. This is why I told you should go into medicine in the beginning. Hey y'all, it was hard for me. Like, it was really, really hard. Like, I can count, like, if I had $1 for how many times I called up my friends and said, y'all, I'm just gonna be a nurse. Like, it was really, really hard. And by the time my birthday rolled around, I just did something really calm. And then I went on a trip with my friends to Houston, and I really think this was the catalyst, because I feel like when I went on that trip to Houston, it was the first time that I really allowed all the work that I had put in to just be. So there was nothing more that I could do. There was nothing else in my hands at the time. I think the only thing I had to do at the time was submit my applications, and that's exactly what I did. Actually, let me roll back a little bit. The only thing I had to do at the time was submit my applications, which is what I did. But while I was in Houston, I had planned to visit schools, and just for timing reasons, I wasn't able to, but my flight had got canceled, so I was in Houston an extra day, and I was able to visit schools. And I visited this one school, I toured it, and I didn't submit my application at the time because I just think I was nervous. But after I took a tour of the school, they were telling me, like, you know, you really should apply, like, you're gonna get in, you're gonna be fine. And I did it. Like, I think I came back to New York, and then like a week after coming back to New York, I decided that I was gonna submit my applications. Like, my friends were like, just submit your application, just submit your application. I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous. So I didn't submit my application until a week after I got back from Houston. But a month later, I remember getting an email from somebody that I had interviewed with months prior about a position that had just opened up, and I got another email from a different recruiter telling me how they think I fit this position really well. So I applied to both, and I heard back offers at the same time, and I was just amazed because a week after I was getting those offers, I got my acceptance into law school. And then after that, the rest was pretty much history. I decided to go to TSU Law School, Texas Southern University. They have a law school there, and I decided it would be the perfect place for me to attend law school, continuing my HBCU legacy. And I had about 60 days, give or take, to pack up my things in New York and move to Houston. And obviously, Houston is not as walkable as New York. And Sage, my first car, was out of commission since I had moved back to New York. So I had to get a new car. And mind you guys, while this is going on, I'm still negotiating these job offers. And I'm basically doing all of this, guys, and I have zero money in my bank account. Like, my bank account was on zero. And honestly, that is just a testament to God in my consistency, because I was able to make a way that was not traditional, and I was able to still do all the things that I had planned to. I just didn't have to worry about where it was coming from. And honestly, that's literally because of grace. Like, that is the grace of God. Honestly, if I'm being real, I was making money in non-traditional ways. Since I was doing features at the time, I was doing a lot of promo, brand deals. So I was able to afford my move, and I had some money saved. But I was able to take the money that I had saved and get a new car in August. And I started law school. So yeah, that's pretty much my life update. If you guys were wondering where I've been for the last 6 months and why I haven't been posting as much, that is why. But I couldn't leave you guys like with just this video alone. Like, come on guys, how can I do that? Best believe I recorded the entire process, the entire move, apartment hunting, decorating my apartment, unpacking. I recorded all of that, and I will be sharing those videos with you guys. I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm gonna call those videos, but it's really gonna be a whole new journey, because telling you what happened is one thing, but showing you is another. And YouTube has always been a really big part of my life, and it just didn't feel good that I didn't share this with you guys. I shared it with you guys when I moved in DC and when I graduated and when I was post-grad, and this is like the next big step. So I wanted to give you guys a look into not only how I did it, but what it looked like, and not like some glamorized version, like a real version, because trust, it was not easy. So that is how I treat my life in 6 months. Let me give you guys the real update. So I am now living in Houston, Texas. I just finished my first semester of law school, and by the time you guys are watching this video, I should be starting with my second semester. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I'm just so excited for the fresh start. I feel like the past 2 years, like I said, have been so transformative for me, and I can't wait to take you guys on the journey of what the next couple of years would look like. Maybe I'm just getting older, so I'm getting a little bit more reflective, but I just think that it's so amazing that I was able to find myself when I thought that I couldn't. Life is just so funny in that way, because you really think you have an idea of how things are going to pan out, and you just realize that you never had a clue, but it always does work out. Yeah. And I'm just so thankful to God, to my community, to my family, my friends for being there for me the whole way through. And most importantly, I'm thankful to you guys, because I don't think I would have been able to survive those last few years if I wasn't sharing it with you guys, and if I wasn't doing what I love. Not to get mushy, but you guys get to come along on this ride with me. So I hope you guys are buckled up and excited for this next chapter, because it's gonna be so beautiful, and you guys are gonna be here every single step of the way. So yeah. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for post notifications. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Your face on a shirt, but you still irrelevant. Put your hands in the air, it's a stick up, stick up. Bitches still trying to beat me, time to give up, give up.